All right. Hello,
Ooh.
Layla. Appreciate
Hi,
you
how are
stopping by.
you? How are
How you
you?
doing? How you
Sorry, one
doing?
second. Hold on. Yep.
No, no problem. No rush.
Sorry about that. Let me just fix this.
You
Are we
good?
live? Are we pre-recorded? Live? What's the?
We was going to go live. I just wanted to just set everything up real quick. So you
Okay,
take your time.
perfect. Okay, let me
Let
know
me
when you're
know.
ready, guys. Sorry, I just want to make sure it's okay. Okay. All right. Whenever you guys are ready.
Yeah, let
Okay.
me know when you're ready, sir.
All right. So I'll give a countdown. All right. So from five, four, three, two, and one.
Welcome to another episode of It's Debatable WWE edition. I'm your host, Justin Jones, here with co-host Sebastian Pluvios, and we have special guest, former WWE Divas legend Layla in the house. Everybody clap it up for.
Welcome, welcome,
Hi,
welcome.
guys. Hi.
I just want to say a personal thank you to you for coming on this platform. Shout out to your manager. He was very respectful and just quick with the responses. It made everything just the process just run so smoothly. So thank you. Um
Awesome.
I just want to say I'm a little nervous right now because I'm just gonna be honest because you're somebody that when I was just a kid watching WWE just in the early 2000s to mid 2000s, you was just a prominent female just in the just women's division, and all the storylines you did and just your character just is something that I just always remembered, and I want to make sure you get the proper respect that you deserve. So just once
Aw,
again, thank you.
100%.
thank you so much. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous, though.
I'm
Please
good.
don't
I'm
be
good.
nervous.
I'm good.
Thank you so much.
So just to start off, your career, I don't want to just get into WWE just yet. Your background just started from dancing. You did the Carnival Cruise Lines, and just dancing for the Miami Heat. You even did, the performance at the Music Awards, with Kanye. So just that background, how did you get into that? And just talk to us about just that experience.
Absolutely. So first off, I feel like people remember like my dancing background and stuff like that. But actually, I started on TV when I was 12 years old in
Mhm.
London, England. So I
Wow.
was hosting some shows called Artifacts, and I was doing other things. And I started dancing very young, and but I never was able to capitalize on my dancing until I got to about maybe 18 years old. So then that's when I joined Carnival Cruise Lines. Prior to that, I done pantomime. I danced with,
Okay.
I think, other celebrities. Like I was in an Erasure video. I don't know if you guys know who Erasure is.
Okay.
Um, so then I used the Carnival Cruise Line, which was able to get me over here to the States. I came to Miami. That was when I first time I ever came to the States, and
Wow.
it helped me because I went to a Miami Heat show and game. Sorry, not show, game, and I was like all the way in the nosebleeds, and I'm like. I want to be a Miami Heat dancer. That was just something I wanted to do. So when the opportunity came about, I was able to do that. And doing that from 2004 to 2006 opened up so many possibilities for me. I danced at the VMAs with P. Diddy and Mace when Mace first came back. I also got to dance with Jamie Foxx and Kanye West at the VMAs. I can't remember everything else, but and then Miami Heat opened up the door for me to be scouted for the WWE Diva Search. So my dancing was honestly a big opening for me to be able to have all these opportunities. But originally, it did start in TV.
Okay.
So
Okay. Go ahead,
sorry.
sir.
So quick thing, when we talk about just all these big stages, dancing at the VMA, so it kind of help you get accustomed to like just performing in front of like thousands of people because the VMAs is a big thing. Like the people that you name, like they sell out arenas and just like things of that nature. So when you look at it, it's just like did it take you something to get comfortable? For? Was it like a surreal feeling? Because when we go from Carnival Cruise, and Carnival Cruise is a wonderful experience. I advise everybody to go on at least one Carnival Cruise once in their life. But yeah, so go from that into the VMAs, right? It's just like it must be like, she's like it's like a quick transition, but it's like something that was like nerve wracking or something that you just knocked it right out the park first go time.
So Carnival Cruise Line. seriously, go on a cruise if you can. It's amazing. Carnival Cruise Line was the best thing for me because I got to travel the world, right? I was getting paid um to basically do something that I love. I would do for free, you know what I mean? And then I got to travel the world, right? So it was amazing. But I and then also I want to mention that I did get to perform. I did get to do a lot of different stuff in England too after Carnival Cruise Line. Before I came back to the Miami Heat, I performed at the a concert with Robbie Williams. I was in the video with Miss Dynamite. I was in the video with Blue, Elton John. There's so many that I can't remember. So it was great. But yes, going from the Miami Heat to performing at the VMAs and stuff like that. Like I was always a fan of P. Diddy and Mace. Like growing up, that was like I was just a huge fan of theirs. So to
Wow.
even be able to be on the same stage as them, amazing, amazing. And then Kanye West and Jamie Foxx, like huge fans, great
Wow.
artists. I must say, Kanye West treated us so well. He had us in his own locker room. He came and got us from the big locker room, and he's like, "Come here." He had us in there. We had our makeup done. We was stylists. We had our hair done in his personal locker room. So I have nothing but high praise for Kanye West from
Wow.
the always, and so going from performing with them and then coming to WWE, that was definitely because that was on another scale. Like we were performing in front of thousands, 70,000 people.
Right.
Can't even imagine. Did it prep me for it? No. No, because that was my element that I was comfortable with. I was
Right.
dancing. It was easy, it was comfortable. But nothing can prepare you performing in front of a crowd of for WWE. There's just nothing that can prepare you for that. Even all the training in the world. It's just a very surreal moment to live.
Right. So in 2006, your manager at the time was encouraging you just to do this Diva search. What made you just ultimately just say yes to do it? Because, like you just said, that's a different type of transition. You're kind of doing just two different things. One's a little more physical, both is just, tolling on your body and your physical and mental just to do those things, performing in front of crowds. But just, sort of going into the WWE side, just what at the end of the day just made you say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go in that direction.
Um, like I woke up one morning, it was the day of the audition, and I just said, let me do it. That was it.
Wow.
Like literally, it was nobody really like. No matter what anybody said to me or anything, I made up my mind. I was like, I'm not gonna try out. Nah, I'm not gonna wrestle. What is that? I'm not gonna wrestle. But it just came to me one morning to get up and go do it, and that's what I did. And it look how it panned out for me.
So prior to that, did you like any have like any like background on what like the business and tell what like all WWE was about? Like were you previously watching it growing up? Or is it something that you said, just go for it?
I had no clue. I absolutely had no clue. I was not a huge fan of wrestling. Of course, I knew The Rock. I was a huge fan of like him just from his movies and stuff like that. But I absolutely had no clue. My mother used to watch wrestling. She used to like Abdul the Butcher. So I used to see that, but I was just like, "What is that?" I had no clue anything about the business. I didn't know anything. I didn't know. I no clue. I had no clue what I was getting myself into. But I think the opportunity that was presented for any woman at that time, especially I was in my early 20s,
Right.
young, you know what I mean? That kind of money, why wouldn't you jump at that? So I just jumped at it. I took a chance in life and it ended up being one of the best opportunities that I ever jumped on.
Yeah, shout
Right.
out to you gamble, man. You gamble, good risk, good reward. That's what I look at it as.
Right. So just that Diva search, just talk to us just about the process and just, we all know that you ended up winning the whole thing. So just talk to us about the process, just the ups and the downs, and ultimately just how did that, just affect your, just your life going forward.
So the process from the casting was really easy. The casting was literally 5 minutes. So I just went in. We just just spoke about myself briefly, and then we had to put on a bikini. I think I might have. I don't even think I even danced. I think I just literally just spoke for a little bit, and then we got called to LA. So when I got the call saying they were going to fly me to LA and they were going to take care of my hotel and stuff, so I was like, okay, I might be in here. But then I get there and there's 1,000 women. There's 1,000 women standing there,
Wow.
all all beautiful, beautiful bodies, hair immaculate, makeup immaculate. And I'm sitting there because at that time, like I had my natural curly hair, and I was just thinking, I don't, I feel like I'm like odd. I feel like I'm the odd one here. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
do I fit in? Do I not fit in? But I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it and just do it. So basically, we went in one at a time, and we went in front of Ashley, the Miz, and I think it was Kevin Dunn. I'm not 100% sure who's the producer, and they would audition us, and they would say, "Hey, show us what you got." And I remember we went in there like 2 or 3 times, and they were like cutting girls, you know, and it was a 2-day process, and then they revealed the top 8, and it was very I got to meet a lot of people. I started looking. I got to meet a lot of the girls there. Like it was, I tried to make the best out of the situation. You know, it was
Right.
hard to watch the girls who didn't get chosen, because some of them, their dreams were like they were shattered. Because some of them really wanted to be a diva, and but like, would I do it again? Like, you know, would I go through the audition process again? I don't know. Just because of my age, of course, but I don't know. But doing it then when I was younger, I'm glad I did it. And when they chose the top 8, I couldn't believe that I was even a part of it. Like I was literally stunned, 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 stunned. And I just had fond memories of that day. I really do. I had fond memories of those 2 days, just, you know, the process.
Well,
And then
now,
the search. Yeah. And then the Diva Search, it was they would take the 8 of us, and we basically were on the road. We would drive from one city to the next city for the next day of TV, because we were doing Raw and SmackDown. And we were given some rules. We were told basically, you know, don't date the guys, try to keep yourself to yourself. So for me, I really did do that. And the actual contest that they put on us, they never told us they were going to do it, or they never said be prepared. It was always just a shock factor. Here you go. And I was nervous. I'll be honest with you, I was very, very nervous to go in front of the crowd live. Like they booed us. They literally they booed us. We went out there and they booed Miz first because I think he messed up a line or a
Wow.
phone number, so he had to correct himself. And then they booed us. So I was like, oh my God, why are they booing us? Like I had no clue what WWE was or how the audience or anything like that. I did not understand it, but I learned pretty fast. And then the eliminations were tough. Like I always was worried that it was going to be me. I was going to get eliminated. But it was good, grueling competition. But I look back and I'm so happy that I did it. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change anything about it. Nothing.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So you get into WWE now. I believe you made your first appearance the same year, 2006, at SummerSlam. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Right. Right. So you're there. You're just backstage. You're with everybody. Just how did that feel? Just knowing that like this is like your first big shot, right? You don't want to mess up. I'm pretty sure you're nervous. Just talk to us about that.
So the first, you're right. The first, it was SummerSlam, and it was in Boston. And the only reason I remember this so vividly was it was my first time um, being solo. So the other girls weren't going to be there with me, and it was the first time like that I was actually a diva. Now I'm under contract. I'm a WWE diva. Let's go. I really wasn't. The Most of the girls were very welcoming. I will say that most of the girls, but it wasn't the reaction I thought I was going to get. A lot of people were very perturbed about my existence because I was a Diva Search winner, and that goes into so many different things that I understand now. And but at the time I didn't understand why. And on that day, my luggage did not make it.
Wow.
I had no
really,
luggage, I had no clothes, no costumes, nothing. So I had to ask around, like, hey, can you spare me a t-shirt? Can you remember it? And the industry that we were in at that present time, it was very competitive and very much everyone kind of withheld stuff because you were out for yourself and stuff like that. Um, I was very nervous because I had a segment with all the divas, all the baby faces, and
Right.
I had to and with Trish. So it was like, wow, this is huge, this is a big deal, and I was scared I was going to mess up. I look back at myself, I know I was nervous. I don't know if other people, like any of the fans or if it could see that I was nervous, but I was nervous. um and the segment didn't pan out the way I thought it was going to be. If you watch it, like
Yeah.
the girls literally just had fun with me and stuff like that. But if I would have had my costume, I probably wouldn't have revealed as much. But I didn't have my costume, so that's how it goes.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Talk about a stress reliever.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
So then, as we go on, right? Because I want to know, right? Because right after that, it wasn't like you was consistently just on regular television. After that, you ended up coming back a couple, like I apologize, a couple months later. So just what did you feel in that moment, seeing that you had your first showing, and then you just wasn't there consistently? Did that mess with your head? Like, did you think maybe I didn't do as well, and that's why I'm not being you know, as active?
I don't think they knew what to do with me. I don't think they knew what they wanted to do with me. Remember, I couldn't wrestle, so I was hired as I couldn't do anything. My contract wouldn't let me train because I
Right.
had to be on TV. So I don't think they knew what they wanted to do with me. And when they tried some things, I think I did good. But you got to remember, I'm not a wrestler. They put me out there to wrestle too, my first match, and it was okay. But I'm not a professional wrestler. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? So I
Yeah.
Right.
feel like that they were just like, well, what do we do with her? And at the same time, I'm glad that happened because I didn't get injured. I wasn't put out there to keep wrestling and making a fool of myself and look stupid. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? They were protecting me as well. But then at the same time, because I could dance, they came up with Extreme Expose. So I got to choreograph that, design the costumes, edit the music. I had I had such free will and I was trusted in that. And I felt like Vince McMahon was invested in that, that troop. So thank goodness that that was possible, that I could use that, dance, be on the road all the time and train. So I can
Right.
start learning how to wrestle behind the scenes. So I did not take it personal. If that makes sense, I
Yeah.
did not take it personal at all. Because at the end of the day, it's like I wasn't ready. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't ready to go out there, and I'm kind of grateful I didn't go out there and keep wrestling when I wasn't ready to do it, because it would just been a disaster for everybody. So in a way, I just was like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna dedicate to this dancing, I'm gonna dedicate to my training, and then I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to show them that they did the right thing investing in me, and me being their 2006 Diva Search winner, that I'm going to make something out of it. I'm not just going to disappear and not fulfill what I felt like I got hired and obligated to do?
Right, that's true. Because when I look at it, it must have been tough because if you're gonna split down doing the choreograph, and mind you, this is all on live TV, so feel me, this like it's one take, and then you gotta make sure that you're working on just the skills, your in ring ability too. It's like, how do you manage that between doing that? Because at that point in time, it's like I wouldn't say they're asking for a lot, but in a sense, it's a lot too because you want to make sure that feel me. But you already have the background of dancing, so that probably came like second to none. But just working on just perfecting the craft of wrestling, and just because you, like you said, you didn't really have the pro wrestling experience, but now they're putting you in a position now to where you could excel in that. So I just wanted to know, like, how was there like a balance of it? Was it like, all right, I'm gonna do this in the morning, and then in the afternoon, I'm gonna just go work on my wrestling skills?
Yeah. So basically, the dancing was like the TV. That was the most important because we had 3 hours to do the dance routine, choreograph it, teach the other girls the routine, and make sure we had rehearsals and stuff like that. So that's what I would focus on at TV. But then when I was on live events, because we would be live events, house shows, whatever they used to call it, it would be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? So on those days, I we would get to the arena super early before showtime. Like I'm talking about 4 hours maybe earlier than showtime, maybe even earlier, and we would train with Fit Finley. We would get in the
Okay.
ring and we would train. I would also train with Jimmy Wang. Like we would train with some of the wrestlers. We would just get in there and learn and just keep doing. And that's how the girls like learned. So that's when we would invest our time on training and trying our best. And then we would have the show that night. and then that was our focus. But that's where we got most of our training. And if you like think about it, like once Extreme Expose was over, Kelly and I went up against each other. Now we were on
Right.
ECW
Yep.
live. Now, if you watch some of those matches at the beginning, what were they thinking? Why were we on TV live wrestling? So basically, Kelly and I were training on TV. Like we were like, you know what I mean? Like you can look back at it now and laugh and stuff like that. And I'm glad it happened. But at the same time, I wish we would have not had to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But hey, we're divas. We're supposed to be wrestlers, so that's what we did. We did what
I
we're
think
supposed
that
to do.
was needed though, because
I was about
later
to
on
say the same thing.
the chemistry. I feel like you just build chemistry, and I like how it's kind of throwing you into the fire and see what you're capable of. Because if they didn't like it, they didn't have to. But the fact that they allowed you to get that exposure, ECW, like at least give you that time is. I feel like that's what really help. A lot of times is like when I watch wrestling, I see like. I think it's a chemistry thing between like people in the ring. So it's like you could tell who has good chemistry and who doesn't. So I guess when they paired you up with Kelly, it was more so of just letting you guys build chemistry, because later down the line, I seen a lot of matches during the SmackDown events there was so many matches I seen where I'm just like they are going at it. Like you would think like you didn't like each other. I'm like I was very sold too. So I'm just like
Right.
hearing that now, it makes a lot of sense. But one more thing I want to ask: when you brought up Finley, shout out to Finley, by the way. I seen something where he said he trained you like the men's side, like it was very like aggressive wrestling. I was told that like be told to like cut back a little. Feel me? They're still divas at the end of the day. But he said he's gonna train them like, and which he did a great job, by the way. So how was that like training with Finley?
Oh my god! Like literally, I'm gonna say like Fitz, no joke. Fitz, no joke. He was basically like, "You're gonna cry about it? You're gonna cry about it? What are you crying about? What's the problem here?" Like, you know what I mean? He would listen, and then he'd be like, "You
All
done?
right, go out there and do it.
Do it again. Like, let's get this done. What are you doing?" And he was right. He did. He trained us like men. He would rough us up. He would get in there, and he would make us like make it real, make it real, make it real. What
Right.
is this like? Like even though they didn't want the divas wrestling, and they were like, they wanted us to just like slap and hair pull and you know,
Right.
like just use hair bumps and stuff like that. Fit was like, no, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna show them, and you're gonna train like this. Like this is how it goes. I'm trying to think like one time, one incident. I don't want to say the diva's name because I don't, just in case she doesn't want me to
Okay.
say anything. One of the girls actually peed herself from the bumps. That's how hard it was because we were bumping
Wow.
her so much, so much, so much more that it was just like. But you know what? I am so grateful for it. I wouldn't change it. Like he helped us and he helped me. I can speak just for me. Like night and day, night
Right.
and day. And Fit Finley was the background Lay Cool. I'll say that again and again and again. Fit Finley was part of Lay Cool. Without Fit Finley, there would like Lay Cool would not has been, I think, as successful as it was. So
Wow.
all the women, like I guarantee you, there is not one diva that will not say thank you, thank you, thank you, Fit. From before I even got there. I know they will always be grateful to Fit Finley.
Wow.
Makes
Okay.
it-
Mhm.
Okay, so shout out to Finley, just one of the most underrated, superstars of all time. But another person that you worked with, early in your career, William Regal. When you went to Monday Night Raw and you became, his manager, I thought the chemistry that y'all had and the character work that y'all did was so great. I hear so many stories about William Regal, him working with so many different people, and him just playing just that mean heel character just so well. I remember being a kid hating him. If he had won a match, I was going to bed angry that night. So when y'all teamed up, because like I said, you was one of my favorites. I just didn't know what to expect, but y'all did magic together. So just talk about that experience just working with him.
Working with William Regal, amazing, very amazing. I'm very grateful, very privileged. I didn't know much about the wrestling business still, and I just listened to everything he said. I observed. He was a complete gentleman, respectful. He guided me always. Um, I love that we were together. I just wish it would have been at a later time in my career when I knew more and I could have been more of an asset, or I could have contributed more to our storyline, had a better character, But
Right.
to even watch him work, like I sat there rings like basically not ringside on the ring, basically watching him with his matches. And what I used to love the most was that he would go out there with any wrestler, especially when we were overseas, especially when it wasn't taped, and he would just say, "We'll call it when we're out there,"
Wow.
and he would just call the whole match out there live, like literally. And I remember watching one with him and Kofi live in Europe, and literally Kofi just it was amazing to watch. I'd never seen that before. To see it so up close, so you can hear what he's saying, how he's calling it. He's listening to the crowd. He's doing it like it was. William Regan's amazing. Like it's amazing to watch, and I will always be grateful for that. Always be grateful for that time. Very lucky. I'm a very very lucky person.
Wow. Okay. So still just around that time, was there anyone that you wasn't able to work with that you wish you could have just around that time?
Um, Candice probably. I think Candice. I never ever really got to work with
Candace.
Candice Michelle. I think she was the champion at that time. Unless I've got the times wrong. I'm trying to.
Uh-huh.
I never got to work with like Candice. Um, I'm trying to think who else that I missed out on, because the girls I got to work with like later on, like some of those got like Mickey,
Right.
Melina. But at that time, I think Candice was the one that I think I would have had some great segments with. I
Hmm.
got with Tori so briefly, which was great. She helped me out in the in one of the pay-per-views when like I didn't know what to do, and she volunteered and helped me out. So I got to work with her. So I'd say Candice Michelle. I wish I would have had some time to have worked with her.
Okay. All right. So another person I want to bring up, and you brought up also earlier, The Miz. I feel like early in your career, y'all just did a lot of work together. I remember your first battle royal, he interfered and then cost you the match and all that. And y'all storyline was just so great early on because The Miz is just, just so underrated. I feel like, just all the legends we talk about, The Rock, Stone Cold, John Cena, all these people that we could name, the two out of the three people I just named, he's been in the ring with, main event at WrestleMania, and just did so much. So to see where he started from to where he finished, just speak about the Miz and just the work y'all did together.
I was what a great first person that I got to work with. Someone who was very giving, also very understanding. I don't think anybody will ever say a bad word about Miz. Miz is probably one of the easiest persons to work with backstage. Like he's so
Mhm.
easygoing, but he knows what he wants. His direction. He watch it. He used to watch like every match, criticize himself, pitch ideas. He's always coming up with ideas. He's always entertaining. Whatever WWE gave him, he would make it work. So I will be grateful to him because a lot of people didn't want to work with me at the beginning. So I was lucky that I did have Miz who basically gave me everything he wanted. He's such a heel, you know what I mean? And he made it work. He was funny, he was entertainment. And then when we worked with him with Extreme Expose, that was amazing. The chick magnet, like, come on.
Yeah,
Like, come on. That was so entertaining,
classic
so
segment.
fun. There was one time that I think that we at Extreme Expose didn't even know we were supposed to be on SmackDown with him. I'll always remember that. And he's like, "Girls, where were you?" I'm a chick magnet. He didn't even get mad about it. He just laughed about it, and we just like carried on. And then he went along and worked with me also with Kelly Kelly. Remember, he was against Kelly Kelly
Yes,
with is it Balls Mahoney? I want to say,
I
if I'm
believe so.
remembering. Yeah, I
Right.
believe so too. Yeah, so no, look where he started. He started hosting the Diva Search,
Hmm.
literally. And then he went to main event WrestleMania. He's still current at WWE now, which is a big statement within himself. I have nothing but great things to say about Miz. He's awesome.
Right. Okay. So now to transition a little bit, you brought up this person before, Michelle McCool. I would just say probably you and her just had the best chemistry just I've seen just between two females. Like, yeah, y'all were just like yin and yang, and just y'all started talking alike, moving alike, dressing alike. Y'all were just the pinnacle at that time of just top divas. Y'all
Could have
played
been
your
like twins.
characters. Say it again.
I said they could have been like twins, like the
For real.
mannerisms, everything was. You know what it remind me of? Because I was watching you guys doing like an entrance, right? You guys are doing an entrance. You had like the hoodies on and whatnot. It's like you guys remember when the Miz and Damian Sandow had like like they were doing the exact same things. Like it looked exactly like
Yeah.
mannerisms exactly alike too. Lay Cool was awesome.
Thank
Right.
you. Thank you.
Right. So I just wanted to know like how was it working with her and then just some of like the ideas that was presented on television. Did y'all pitch some of them? Because I remember one time it was just this backstage segment and Mickey James I think was eating fruit or something. And then you and Michelle McCool walk up to her and y'all say eating food, imagine that. And so then y'all I just started busted out laughing and then the pie goes in the air, it hits Vicky Guerrero in the face. Just did y'all how was just the chemistry? I just need you to talk about because just the moment
Yeah.
y'all put on was crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, for instance, you know when you meet somebody in person for the first time, and you're like, "Man, do I know that person? Like, I feel like I know you. Like, I don't know you, but I know you." So that's how it felt when I first met Michelle. Like right away, I connected with her. I liked her. She was someone that was always nice to me, and and I had a match with her. I think one of my first matches on SmackDown after I've been training for a while, and and I remember like Jimmy Wang was like, wow, like you guys have really good chemistry. You and Michelle should really work together. You know what I mean? And then, like, agents came back, producers were like, you guys really work good together. That was really good. That was really good, and thought nothing of it. And then Lay Cool wasn't supposed to be me and Michelle. I think Stephanie wanted to do a Mean Girl story, right? But
Wow.
I think they were going with Michelle and Alicia Fox,
Okay.
right? But I got drafted to SmackDown from Raw, and they needed a filler so that Michelle and Mickey wouldn't touch each other, right? So I was the filler. And then every time we go out there, it just worked. And then we got there again, and it just worked, and it just worked, and it just worked. And it was never supposed to be Layla and Michelle. But then somehow it just kind of connected. And then the Picky James story wasn't us. We didn't come up with that. Vince
Okay.
actually came up with that. And
Figure.
then with that story, it was just very controversial. And it was like the first time that the divas were starting to get heat. I mean, not boo, like comical heat. I mean, legit heat. We had women wanting to literally beat us up at live events and stuff like that. So it
Wow.
was great. So we ran with it. That's what Michelle and I did. We ran with it, and so did Mickey. Mickey was amazing in that. Like she knew what was happening, and she was like, "Okay, let's go. Let's make this happen." And we made it happen, and it was funny. Like some things were funny. Is it offensive? That was the whole point, right? That was the
Yeah,
whole point. What's the point if we're not going to do it? Then what's the point? It was offensive. It was out of line, and it's wrong to do that. But Mickey won, right? So she proved that the Mean
Yeah.
Girls can say what they want to say. I'm going to win. I'm still a great. I'm a woman. Look, I'm a real woman. You guys shut up. So in a way, I get what people are saying about that whole storyline and everything, but it did work and it was entertaining. And you can look back at it and go, "Wow, these women are horrible, horrible individuals." So we did our job. But the chemistry between Michelle and I, well, as you could say, like we're like twins, just completely different, but twins. So we just connected. We would just say things together. Like we would say, "Do you want to say this together?" And then say this. And then we try it one time. And then after that, it just became like natural. It just, we vibe and stuff like that. And Michelle, I will say, pitched every week. Every week we would pitch ideas. You have to, we would pitch ideas. Some things were given to us, some things weren't. You know what I mean? But
right.
WWE did trust us. The chemistry between Michelle and I don't think will ever be duplicated. I don't think so. I think Local will be remembered as a great tag team. You know what I mean? That's what we
Mhm.
were. So eh, all I can say is great friends, great co-workers, and we went out there and we did business. We had a great time, and we had a great time doing it.
I want to ask because I seen this. Whose idea was it to split the woman's title in half?
Right. It's
It was
crazy.
actually
Crazy.
Batista's.
For real?
It was
Wow.
we used to have the little chains, remember the Forever Friends chain?
Yeah,
Yeah,
And then one day after rehearsal, Batista was like, "Hey, I think you guys should do that with the titles." That was it.
that's
I don't
crazy.
really
Yeah.
because was there? I don't think there was a women's tag team title back then, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
It
No,
was.
there wasn't. No, and there was never a plan for there to be one either.
Shoot, you guys would have brought so much. Y'all would have brought so much relevancy to that tag team titles, especially the way a women's division is set up now for the tags. Like you guys would have set such a thing because when you look at it, you basically felt like tag team champions.
Absolutely. We were co-champions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just moving a little bit forward, I want to know. So you're moving up in you're moving up in the rankings. Your career is going on. You're getting more and more established as a vet. Did it ever come to your mind now? I want to be a champion. I want to be the women's champion. I want to be the Divas champion. Did that ever come to your mind and maybe you pitched it? Or, when you finally ended up being a champion, was that just the creative idea just to give you the title?
Um. Okay. In my mind at the time, it was the women's champion because I think the Divas title was on Raw. So at that time, when I wanted to be the women's champion, I kept that quiet to myself. I never pitched it because I never thought that it would ever happen. But you can
Wow.
dream, right? You can dream it. You can want it. And I don't think anybody thought it was going to be put on me. There was no like direction that that's what we were going to go. I think they were going to put the title on Vicky Guerrero because she was with us at the time.
That's insane.
Yeah, so they were going to put the title on her, but I think Fit Finley spoke to Vince and was like, "Well, look, Layla's on live event. She does all the shows. Um, why don't we put it on Layla?" And I think they went with it, and I would forever be grateful for that. And I ran with it, and it worked out great. So that was it.
So talk about that experience. You're a champion, right? Feel me? First singles one in your career. Talk about like the feeling that you're going through. Talk about like because when you look at it from where you start, would you say that you could imagine yourself being in the position you are later on in the business?
Um. Okay, so when they told me I was going to win the title, Fit told me. I thought he was joking the whole time. That's how much I believed that they were ever going to put the title on me. I thought he was joking the entire time. I was waiting for the joke, even during the match. I'm like, okay, they're going to tell me it's not you. I won the title in Beth Phoenix's hometown, and the crowd were crickets. Like there was no noise. Crickets, 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 crickets. But
Right.
I didn't care. I didn't care because I knew that this was my moment and this is something. This was a state. This was like a stamp of approval. WWE trusted me. We're going forward, and now I'm going to show the fans what I can do. So to me, that's what it was. I was nervous. I was grateful, right?
Right.
Also excited for the future because I was like, this opens up the door. This opens up. And here I am. I'm the first British woman to win the title. I'm the first Arab woman to win this title. And I'm the first Diva Search winner to win this title. So what more could I ask for?
Legendary.
And once again, shout out to all the accomplishments that you had.
Oh, no. Thank you.
No problem. Shout out to you.
Definitely clap it
You
up for that.
guys, thank you. Thank you.
So just speaking of that Divas era, can I get your Mount Rushmore of just that era?
What do you mean? Sorry.
No, no, I'm saying just your personal Mount Rushmore just of the Divas era. Like
Oh,
for
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I would say when we had the first ever Divas table match, when we had the first loser leaves match with Michelle, um, being NXT pros.
okay.
Trying to think. Coming back after my injury because I never thought I'd be able to wrestle again.
Mm.
Right,
Yes.
So
you did wrestle with a torn ACL.
One, huh?
I say you did it. I did see that you wrestled with a torn ACL. How does one even go through that?
I didn't know it was torn. I just knew I was in pain. I tore my ACL and my MCL that day before the actual pay per view match with Michelle, but I didn't know it was torn. So for me, I just we just taped it up. I iced it before. I had no clue. So to me, it was like I feel like I didn't get to give my best for that match because I was hurt. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I will say it was painful. But because of the emotion of what Michelle and I had done, and this was like the final, that was it. That was the final moment. I feel like it outright, like I was able to outride the pain that I was feeling and just go with it.
That's tough.
Okay.
That's tough because usually people they're on the ground when the ACL and MCL is torn. It's just like you could tell, but it didn't even look like you had to use like you lost a step during that match. So it must have
Oh,
been some
thank you.
crazy adrenaline and just everything that you and Michelle just built up. It's just like I gotta go out there and perform.
100%. That's what I thought. There's no way. There was nothing going to stop me. Like even if they would have said, "Layla, you're not going to do the match," there was no way. That's why I kept quiet and I just went out there and did what I had to do.
So you brought up you eventually made your comeback. Talk to us about just what was going through your mind at that time because like you said, you wasn't sure if you was gonna be able to perform again. All right. And I feel all wrestlers just give so much to the ring. I just was watching SmackDown yesterday and I seen Kevin Owens give a segment just saying he wasn't gonna be able to be a part of WrestleMania just due to him,
Um,
just due to a
yeah.
neck injury. So just speak to us about, when the doctors cleared you, did you think maybe you don't want to come back? You ended up coming back. Talk to us about that.
So basically when I got cleared, I was ecstatic and I built up some confidence in the ring and stuff like that. But I would have nightmares. Like I had nightmares about being hurt again. I had nightmares about having to go through this whole surgery and this whole physical therapy again. So part of me was like, I don't even know if I want to go back. Do you know
Right.
what I mean? Like part of me was like hesitant to go back because I don't want to feel this again. But at the same time, wrestling was kind of in my blood by then. Like it was in my, like it was part of my identity. And
Yeah.
then I wanted to come back because I only had a few years left anyway, with my age and stuff. So it was like, go back and just have faith that everything's going to be okay. But it was very scary. The night before, before I went out there for, I want to say it was Extreme Rules, and I might be completely wrong.
No, you're
I
right.
was terrified. I was also terrified that the crowd wouldn't remember me. I was
Wow.
terrified that I would get booed because I was terrified that I would get hurt the second I stepped out there. So there was so many factors. But then I feel like this thing that I've always done in my life is just do it.
All right.
Just so that's what I did.
Right. So you come back. Later in your career, you started working. Is she there?
The heck?
Yeah. I thought my shit tweaked.
Nah, it
Oh
said
my, oh my lord, that scared me. I thought my phone died, bro.
nah. Yeah, I'm like I ain't touched none.
Damn. What is she still in the chat?
Yeah, time's up. And it was going smooth too.
No, it was. I was about to start to get towards like today, like
Yeah,
the
that's how I
today
was
and
gonna
shit.
wrap it up.
And like bring up John Cena's heel turn. Like,
Yeah, no, that's exactly how I was gonna. Damn, I want to ask her about a match about Mania too, but let's see. I mean, we could give it a few. Do you want to just end the live right now, or
um,
there's like
I
maybe
mean,
another?
you can end the live, but because but just stay in the chat if she comes back with it. You can end the live.
All right, so I'm gonna end the stream, but it's only gonna take the first half of the interview though. So just in case you come back.
Right. So then when she comes back, it will be the second half. You're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
No, yeah, we'll just cut it up, I guess.
All right, but
I don't know, 'cause we don't even know what happened.